What's up guys, welcome to my video, how to get top rank in any video game. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced gamer, this video will provide you with valuable insights to improve your gaming performance. We'll be exploring concepts from 3 influential books. Timothy Gallwey's Inner Game of Tennis, Flow by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, and Jared Tendler's The Mental Game of Poker 2. By understanding and applying these principles, you'll be on your way to becoming a top 1% player. But before we do that, I'm going to show some proof of some games that I've hit top rank in over the years. First we have FIFA. If you go look at my old YouTube videos, the final of my road to Division 1, you can see me winning the division title. Not just getting to Division 1, but actually winning the title. And in 2014 and 2015, I actually won 2 tournaments, winning a total of $300 prize money from competing in FIFA. Next we have Rocket League. In 2016 I hit top rank one day before New Year's. This is the old ranking system. Nowadays Grand Champion is no longer max rank, but at the time Grand Champion was the max rank in the game. For third we have Gears of War 5. I hit the Masters rank, which represents the top 300 people in the world. And among the top 300 I was placed in the 84th percentile. And for the last game that I'm going to talk about, it is Multiverses, where I was ranked at my peak number 6 in the entire world on the 2v2 leaderboard. I was the number 1 highest ranked Shaggy player in the world. It's worth noting that these games are very different in mechanics. We have a shooter, a platform fighter, a sports simulator, and car soccer. As you will see, these principles will be able to apply to any type of game regardless of the genre. And now before I get back into the concepts, I want to point out the fact that it took years between games to hit the max rank. It takes hundreds and sometimes even thousands of hours of practice to reach the point where you have the potential to get max rank. So I just want to illustrate the point that it will take time no matter how well you prepare. But with that out of the way, let's get into the meat of the video. We're going to start off with concepts that were introduced by Timothy Gallwey in his book The Inner Game of Tennis, which is the 2 selves, and we're going to first talk about self 1, the conscious mind. It's that critical and judgmental voice in our head that tries to control our actions in gaming. Self 1 might tell you to focus on your aim or to strategize your next move. A way to remember self 1 is to label it the teller. When you're speaking to yourself, that voice is self 1. Here are some examples from Gears of War professionals showcasing self 1.
Wait,
I didn't know you had
no, I choked, bro.
Now notice in that clip he says, I choked. So self 1 is the voice saying that.
No, I can't miss that. That's pretty dumb.
The takeaway of these 2 clips is notice how they use I. They're talking to I. Self 1 is the voice, and we will go into detail about Self 2, who represents the red eye shown in the clips. After Self 1, the conscious mind, we have Self 2, the unconscious mind. Self 2, or I, symbolizes the unconscious mind, the intuitive and instinctive part of us. It's the doer that carries out actions without conscious thought. Self 2 knows how to react instinctively without overthinking. Imagine you're learning to ride a bike. Self 1 is the voice in your head that tells you to keep your balance, hold the handlebars correctly, and pedal at the right speed. Self 2 is part of you that instinctively knows how to balance and pedal without consciously thinking about it. When Self 1 tries to control Self 2, you may become tense, lose your balance, and fall off the bike. However, when Self 1 trusts Self 2 and allows it to take over, you can ride the bike smoothly and effortlessly. Similarly, in gaming, Self 1 might be the voice that tells you to stay calm, focus on the game, and remember your strategies. Self 2 is the part that can naturally engage with the game and make the right decisions instinctively. Which brings us on to our next concept, which is quieting Self 1. The relationship between Self 1 and Self 2 is crucial. When they work harmoniously, it leads to effective action and optimal performance. But when Self 1 tries to control Self 2, it can result in self-doubt, anxiety, and decreased performance. To enhance your gaming skills, you need to quiet self 1 and trust self 2. This can be achieved through non-judgmental awareness, focusing on the task at hand, and allowing your natural instincts to guide you. By trusting self 2 and allowing it to take the lead, you can play the game with confidence and make the right decisions. By understanding and nurturing the relationship between your two selves, you can unlock your full potential and achieve peak performance in gaming. An example of judgmental awareness would be referring back to those Gears of War clips, where in the first clip, Self 1 says to Self 2 that he choked. Judgmental awareness will only lead to tilting, which will take you directly out of the zone, causing you to play worse. Now, let's turn our attention to Jared Tendler's book, The Mental Game of Poker 2. Tendler provides valuable insights into consistently playing in the zone. Let's explore some key principles that can be applied to gaming. With the understanding of Self 1 and Self 2, we can now ask ourselves, how can I achieve flow? We can remember that quieting Self 1 and focusing on Self 2 can help us achieve this, but a very helpful way to enter the zone consistently is creating a zone routine. A flow routine is a set of actions that you perform before and during your gaming sessions to help you get into the zone. This routine can include things like stretching, deep breathing, visualization, and a practice routine. By repeating this routine consistently, you can train your mind to enter the zone more easily and consistently. However, mixing up the practice routine is pivotal for avoiding boredom and stagnation. Practice is not merely about repetition or mindless hours spent in front of a screen. It is a purposeful endeavor driven by the desire to reach a level of mastery that transcends conscious thought. In Mihai's book Flow, he discusses the fact that there must be a degree of challenge present to be able to enter flow. So during your warm-up routine, you could start by going against bots to warm up your aim, but eventually you should move your way to deathmatch against other players for a more challenging experience to help you enter the flow. Some other major principles that go into achieving flow state are mentioned here, but you can pause the video and read it. The video is getting quite long, so I'm going to try to consolidate the information. Now that we understand what it takes to reach peak performance, we're going to discuss how we can remove bad habits and how to observe your own game and notice the mistakes you are making. The first step is taking full self-accountability regardless of the outcome, good or bad. Sometimes you will be in games that are unwinnable. Whether it's your teammates throwing or the other enemy team having a smurf, it's not going to be possible to win every game. However, losses many times can be turned into lessons. When you lose a round or concede, ask yourself what could you have done better regardless of your teammates' impact on the round. Only focusing on what you can control and not your teammates will go a long way, as you will save time and energy. When you hold yourself accountable for mistakes and don't call out teammates, you boost your team morale and you stop your teammates from tilting and wanting to throw the game. Blaming your teammates will only make them upset and make them play worse. Once you start holding yourself accountable, another helpful tool to improve is maintaining a game journal. A game journal allows you to reflect on your gameplay, analyze your strengths and weaknesses, and set goals for improvement. By keeping track of your progress and learning from your experiences, you can continuously refine your skills and enhance your gaming performance. Jared Tendler's book goes into much more detail about these different focus points. In this video, I'm just going to focus on analyzing strengths and learning from mistakes. However, all these points are very important and can help your game go a long way if you take the time to actually ask yourself these questions, and by answering them and writing them out, you will have a better understanding and answer for yourself. Now for the last part of the video, analyzing strengths and learning from mistakes are going to be the most important focus points here. A big obstacle that can hinder your performance is the C game. C game refers to the times you're not playing at your best, making mistakes, not fully engaged. It's important to identify and eliminate these C game mistakes to improve your overall game. What I found helpful in writing down my C game mistakes was first to write down all of the things I do during my A game, and my C game pretty much reflected the opposite of what I did during my A game. Having all this information written down will make it easy to access and also more tangible information. To put it bluntly, when you're in your C game, you're not in the zone. So realizing what your gameplay looks like when you're not in the zone will significantly help you increase the chances of getting into the zone. To wrap things up, by applying principles from the inner game of tennis, flow, and the mental game of poker 2, you can enhance your gaming performance and achieve top rank in any video game. Let's recap some essential tips. Trust your instincts and allow your natural abilities to shine. Develop mental endurance to stay focused and perform consistently over time. Play in the zone where you make the right decisions effortlessly. Eliminate mistakes that occur when you're not at your best. Increase focus and discipline to make better choices throughout your gaming sessions. Remember, it's all about finding the balance between Self 1 and Self 2, allowing them to work harmoniously. With practice, dedication, and the application of these principles, you'll be well on your way to be a top-ranked gamer. To anybody still watching the video and made it this far, I appreciate you tremendously. Before I get into my socials, I just want to say that all these principles in this video can be applied to life in general. As you can see, the title of these books don't even have to do anything with video games. So I highly recommend going out and reading these books, as they have a lot of useful and helpful tips that you can apply to your life. And if you want to know how you can support me, the best way is to watch me apply these principles on my Twitch at twitch.tv/topabigh, where I'm currently attempting to hit max rank in Counter-Strike. And the second best way to support me is to check out my esports centric clothing brand, Top 8 Studios, which you can find at top8.store. Thanks again for watching, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, as I will be reading every and all comments. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace.